All right, let's get to it. Phillies fall in this one. Just absolutely brutal. 4-3. They lose game 2, go down 2-0 to the Los Angeles Dodgers. They head out to LA on Wednesday. They will play after 9:00. So late one to watch them probably get swept. Just an awful display from the ball club tonight. Nice giving us a little bit of juice in the 9th inning. Okay. That was great. Seeing Cassie get the hit. I'm not gonna rip Castellanos. Castellanos, hey, went out and got it, swung at his low and away pitch, and somehow found a hole. Gets to second base, and then the Bryson Stott thing happens, right? Where they decide to bunt, goes right to Muncy, easy play to Mookie Betts to end it. Just absolutely frustrating to watch, to say the least. I mean, there's nothing else to it. Trey comes up with an opportunity, runner on third, first and third, and grounds out. So that's that. Just leave your thoughts in the comments. Welcome to Nerdshaw Radio. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, follow on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of them. We're there. We got a nice crowd joining us tonight. Leave your comments, leave your thoughts. I'll put them up. I'll respond to as many as I possibly can. But man, that's a tough one. No other way to say it. Like, you're throughout the game just infuriated by some of the at-bats that the Phillies had tonight. And let's start there. We'll start with the real underlying issue is the offense. It's your top guys at the front, and it's the Trey Turners, it's the Schwarbers, it's the Harpers not coming up with the big hit. Harper had 2 opportunities to come up with a big hit tonight and did not. So there's that. That's the biggest part of this whole thing. Bryce, Trey, Schwarber, a combined 2 for 21 with 11 strikeouts in 2 games. It's just not going to get it done, guys. I know they made a little bit of a run in the 9th inning. I understand that. And I apologize also, my voice a little shot. Did a lot of talking over the weekend, to say the least. But Bryce, Kyle, Trey, 2 for 21 with 11 strikeouts is not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. This is the same problem they have had over and over and over again. It goes back to the 2022 World Series when they got no hit. It goes back to game 6 and 7 when they got blanked by the Diamondbacks. It goes back to the Mets series last year, and it's again this year against the Dodgers. And credit to the Dodgers. The Dodgers are a very, very good team. But the Phillies legitimately could have won both games and could be up 2-0 right now. That's where this thing's at. That's where the Phillies could be right now. It's so frustrating that the top guys, I think it was Marcus Hayes that put out the tweet. What was it? A combined $900+ million. Yeah, $927 million. Big 5 of Harper, Trey, JT, Castellanos, Schwarber. Heading into that 8th and 9th inning, I believe, are a 2 for 26 with 11 strikeouts and 14 NLDS innings. So that was through like 5 innings. I mean, that's just not going to cut it. You can't just have the bats come alive in the 9th and Castellanos swing away, somehow swing one-handed and get a base hit, driving a couple of runs. That cannot happen. This team just isn't good enough. They fall apart in the big moments. They are Sixers-esque. And I don't care what anybody says. This, since 2022, after that World Series collapse, they have gone backwards every single year, and there's always an issue. And now guys are starting to get hurt because they're getting older. You have free agents at the end of the year in Harrison Bader, Ranger Suarez, JT Realmuto, Kyle Schwarber. All of those guys are free agents. Guys, this was the year to do it. This was the window. Wheeler gets hurt. I understand that. But it is over. next year, the team's going to look different. It's going to look different. You're still going to have the Trey Turner contract. You're still going to have the Bryce contract. But, man, there's going to be decisions made in the offseason that are going to make people upset, and it's going to be the end of this core as we know it. It is. You can't have Kyle Schwarber going 0 for his last 20, hitless in his last 4 coming into the postseason, still doesn't have a hit in the first 2 games of this series. It just can't happen. The lineup just isn't good enough. Bader going down doesn't help. He gets a big hit in the 9th tonight. But overall, the top guys were not producing. They just weren't. And that's the story. That is the biggest story of it, I think the whole series, because if your top guys do not hit, they weren't going to win. And now they're down 2-0 on the verge of being swept out of the NLDS. And that's just where you're at right now. If you're the Fightins, it's just where you're at. They showed a little bit of fight in the 9th, couldn't get it done. And we have to talk about the decision to bunt with Bryson Stott. I don't believe that was the right decision in that moment, just because of who the runner was at second base. I get the idea. I don't mind the idea, and I'm definitely not anti-bunt. I love playing a little small ball, getting the runner over. You had nobody out. But in that situation, you can't pinch run for Castellanos at that moment. You didn't bring in Weston Wilson, Rafael Marchand. You don't have a big bench right now because of Bader. I don't love the decision to bunt there. I know it's Stott against a lefty, not great. What he hit 225 against lefties this year. I understand that, but it was not the right decision. So I want to know, leave a comment, text in, let me know, was the Bryson Stott decision the correct one? Let me know, comment, leave your thoughts. I don't think that was the right call in the 9th. So there's plenty of other decisions that led to this problem of the 9th inning. But going off the 9th, let me know your thoughts. Was the Bryson Stott decision the right one? I don't think it was in that moment. It's going to be talked about for a long, long time. And it's tough. It's sincerely tough to watch that whole thing play out. You get your hopes up. The crowd gets back into it, and you lay the bunt down, and you get a couple of hits after that following the sacrifice that did not work. You get guys over in a scoring position. You have the top of the lineup back switched over, and they can't get it done. They cannot get it done, and they go down 2-0. And by the way, just to say this, the fact that it came down to that was also a problem. The fact it comes down to the 9th, the guys weren't hitting, and you have to, against a Dodger team like that. I know they've had bullpen struggles, but it's rough. It's a totally awful way to see this core end, man, because I think this is it. This is totally it, to say the least. So we'll get some of your comments in. Was the Bryson Stott decision to bunt the right one? I certainly don't. I certainly don't think so. And yeah, we have a comment coming in. Great Dodgers starting pitching and not going to get better for Phillies Wednesday. No. And you got to give credit where credit's due. Blake Snell pitched a fantastic game overall. And I'll get to the pitching in just a second. But yeah, I mean, listen, the Dodgers are a really good baseball team. So this was going to be a tough series no matter what. The Dodgers were favored. We know that. But the fact that the Phillies have had opportunities to drive runs in, the base is loaded, tons of opportunities to win these 2 ball games. You go up 3-0 in game 1, still can't find a way to win. That's an issue. That's an issue. The fact you can't figure out a way to win one of these 2 games when you go up in game 1 and then game 2 totally fall apart and just nobody can hit. I mean, you're getting no hit for how many innings against Blake Snell tonight? So that's an issue. I agree. Hey, Romo, what is going on? Seriously. It's tough. There's no other way to put it. I am just so pissed off right now at this franchise. There's tons of blame to go around. But I mean, to win 3 straight, you're going to take 2 in LA. Seems highly unlikely. Not impossible. Not totally impossible. So you're saying there's a chance? Yeah, sure. We'll say there's a chance, but there really isn't. This team's cooked. I think you're going to see a lot of changes in the offseason with some of those guys I mentioned earlier, Ranger, Schwarber, Real Muto, Bader, decisions made on those guys. What's going to happen with Alec Boehm? Do they think Bryson Stott is good enough? Probably not. Marsh, what's the outfield look like? Castellanos, where does he go from here? He doesn't get along with the manager. And we'll talk about the manager in a second, but a lot of personnel decisions to be made. But at the top of that lineup, the fact that you have guys making $300 million and just finding ways not to produce with the timely hit or just even at all, not going to win playoff games that way. Just not going to happen. Just not going to happen. We got Nando 390 chiming in. Red October equals loser October. I mean, I totally agree, right? I mean, this team's 1-5 in their last 6 home games. 6 home games. Okay. It's it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. This team is 0-8 in game 1, and when they lose game 1 of a playoff series, it's a joke. The fans were not the issue. That place, I was there Saturday. That place was rocking on Saturday. Rocking. Especially when JT hits the triple. Yeah, they're ready to go. Fans were fantastic. Fans were fantastic. Can't blame them. They have shown out every single time this team has played in a postseason game over the last couple of years, and the team does not show up. I think Bedlam at the bank after that pretty much lost their entire clutch gene. But credit to Cassie. He still has a little bit of a clutch gene. Last year, he gets the walk-off hit in game 2 against the New York Mets. This year, he gets them back into the game within 1 run with a big double. Credit to him. He comes up with a big hit every once in a while, and credit to him, man. He struggled throughout the entirety of the season, became a platoon player, but comes up with a big hit when you needed it, and nobody else could. So that's where you're at with the Phillies at this point. We got my guy Jovan. Love Jovan. We and him were texting throughout the entirety of the game tonight. He said deciding to bunt there was asinine, gave away a free out when you had them on the ropes. I mean, you had no outs, runner on second, so Cassie's in scoring position. I understand you want to play a little small ball, get the runner over. The problem is the runner can't run. And you bunt down the third base line and they played it perfectly. That's what's going to happen. That's going to be the end result. They had opportunities after that. Sure, they did. Bader gets on with a big hit. You pinch run with him with Weston Wilson. Awesome. Like that, they were still in it. They still had an opportunity to score. And Trey, he had an opportunity with 2 outs. Couldn't get it done. Could not get it done. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to watch that happen the way everything played out. We got Time checking in. Duran has been great. Just sucks to have the pitching work and the offense just disappears. Yeah, I think that and we talked about this on the radio the other day. Which are you more concerned about, the bats or the bullpen? It's both. But which are you more concerned about? For me, it was the bats. The bats going cold every freaking year. It's just like clockwork. It's Groundhog Day. It's like the 76ers. I will continue to compare them to the 76ers. It's like Groundhog Day with them losing in the second round, and it's like Groundhog Day with the Philadelphia Phillies bats going cold in the postseason. It's the same thing. The same type of energy. I mean, just loser energy for a majority of that game until Cassie comes up with a big hit. Go win 3 in a row, I guess, right? Like, I mean, come on. It's a joke. It's a joke. There's no excuse for this baseball team. They are good enough, and they just somehow it just flips when the calendar turns to October. Something just a switch flips, and they can't hit anymore. I've never, ever, ever seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. It's unbelievable. But listen, comment, like, subscribe, follow all the socials, Nerdshaw Radio. Another epic meltdown from the Phillies. Again, I just, it's so frustrating. Time chiming in again. He's got a great question here. What do you do with Bryce? You know, I said this last year after they lost to the Mets, and I think it still kind of plays a role. I know they went out and got Bader, who made a tremendous impact, but letting Rhys Hoskins walk, that power bat in the middle of your lineup, when you let him walk and Bryce decided to play first base, did you notice how this really started to happen every single year? And it was the same thing over and over again. Now, I'm not saying things may have totally been different, but that I think was a big key to them not having that power bat in the heart of the order. I thought that really hurt them when he moved to first and Rhys walked away. Now, I know Rhys isn't the same player anymore, but things could have been different. They haven't had that. Castellanos has not been the power bat. He's come up with the big hit. I'll give him that in the postseason. Come up with the big hit. Nobody else has. And it's a shame. It's a shame. I don't know what you do with Bryce. You're kind of stuck with the contract at this point. He's still your guy, but guys are getting older. And you're going to start flipping over to the Painters, to the Crawfords, to the Millers. That's what's going to happen. You have guys coming off the books this year. You have Castellanos the following year, but you might even move Castellanos and need some of that money this year. It's going to look different. It's going to look different next year. That's what I think. I think it's got to look different. You go out and get Bader. Maybe you bring him back because he was a nice piece. It sucks he got hurt. He's still, with one leg, he was able to get a base hit in the ninth tonight. So that's kind of a guy I want on my baseball team. But we'll see what Dombrowski does. It also sucks that you don't have a left-hander who's throwing 99 to 100 coming out of the pen, a.k.a. Jose Alvarado. That's clearly hurt them in this series. Not having that option in the bullpen, tremendous loss. I mean, not having that guy, you have to go to Strom or Banks. Yeah, you have to, I guess, if that's what your decision-making looks like, right? But I do want to talk about the decision-making of Rob Thompson. I think Rob Thompson may have cost himself a job this series. He might have cost himself a job this series with some of the decision-making. The Luzardo thing, taking him out tonight, Dave Roberts left his guy in when he got into a little bit of trouble. Blake Snell got out of it, left his guy in, showed a little confidence in him, right? Leaving Luzardo in, you could have done that because it couldn't have been worse than what happened, giving up 4 runs in that inning and bringing in the guy who is one of the worst on the team, or is the worst on the team, with inherited runners. And then bringing in Strom, who gives up an extra run. What was the point then? What the hell was the point of saying, if you're Rob Thompson, before the game, that everyone's available except for Sanchi? What the heck are you talking about? Why even say that? You're lying. You're lying. I'm going to put the question up on the screen right now. I'm trying to do 3 things at once. But Rob Thompson has mismanaged multiple opportunities and innings in this series. Leave your comment. I just want to hear what you guys have to say about Thompson. Comment, Nerdshaw Radio. We're going to stay on for a couple more minutes as I'm losing my voice, like the Phillies losing tonight, losing it just as bad. So I think Thompson was awful tonight. The Bryson Stott decision, not in that moment. I just don't think that was the moment to do it, especially with the runner on second. If you had a pinch runner, And then I think you can bunt there, but not with Castellanos, who moves like a rock at second base. Can't do it. Can't do it. And then why not bring in Ranger? Why bring in Kirkering? You're also, by the way, it's come out after the game that Aaron Nola is going to start game 3 in Los Angeles. So if you had an idea of already probably starting Aaron Nola, then what the heck are you bringing in Ranger Suarez? Why on earth are you not bringing in Ranger Suarez in this game? Why is he available and you don't bring him in? It's amazing to me. Bueller, Ranger, somebody, not the guy who gives up the runs every single time he goes out there with inherited runners. It makes no sense. And this is decided before the game. Before the freaking game, this is decided. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. So there's that part of it too. I don't know what do you do with Ranger? What are you doing with Ranger? I personally would have left Luzardo in because he's at 82 pitches and just let him work through it. Let him work through it. And TBS even put up the numbers of when he gets to the third time through the lineup, he gets better. He gets better. I know he gave up 2 hard hits. Great. Let him work through it. It couldn't have been worse than that. Couldn't have been worse. And if you're going to take him out, bring in one of the guys, Ranger, Bueller, somebody. There's a reason you have them ready to go. You saw what the Dodgers did. They brought in Glass now in game 1 and locked you down. And if you're going to start Nola and you were thinking about starting Nola anyway, then bring Ranger into the freaking game. I don't get it. All right, let's get back to some of the comments. Do you think Schwarber needs more accountability? Hell yeah. What the hell has he done? He hasn't hit in weeks. It's been like 2 weeks since he's got a hit. Bad at bat after bad at bat, swing and miss, looking at strikes go by. But it's bad at bats from Schwarber. I mean, yeah, absolutely has to take accountability. He lost a couple of dollars if he's coming back to the Phillies on that contract with some of the at bats I've seen in the postseason. I did a segment today on the radio, and I had the numbers. Let me see if I still have them up. So I guess it's now 5. Kyle Schwarber didn't have a base hit in 5 straight postseason games. 5 going back to last year. 5. I'm gonna knock things off my desk here. This is how frustrated I am. 5 straight games he doesn't have a hit. 5. Going back to the Mets series last year. Just pitiful. Just pitiful. Don't think this game, it would have been so close had the Dodger manager would have kept Sheehan in the game. Yeah, I'm stunned that he kept him in the game. They pounced on it. And Castellanos pounced on it. The Phillies pounced on it. They did their job. Couldn't get it done. Could not get it done. I don't know how they didn't get it done. They had runners on all inning. All inning, they had runners on in the 9th. They couldn't get it done. All right. Rob Thompson didn't overmanage, but why isn't he putting the best talent out there when you need it? Now you're down 2-0. That's my problem. Why? Why are they available? Why is Ranger Suarez available? Why is Walker Bueller available? Why are all these guys available and you're not using them? I understand that you only have Kirkering and Strahm. It's what you have to work with, and that's on Dombrowski. But you also had all of these other pitchers and a guy like Ranger who has come in spots like that before. Why not try it? Why not try it? You saw the Dodgers have success with it. Why not try it? For me, the decision at that point was leave Luzardo in, let him work through it, maybe give up a run or two, get out of it. Instead, you bring in the bullpen and the wheels totally fall off. It's just, you can't make it up. You cannot make this up. There's just frustrating parts all around. It's just managerial issues. Okay. It's questionable decisions. I'll leave it at that. Questionable decisions from Rob Thompson. The bullpen's a little shaky. We all know this, but the bats at the top of the lineup are the problem. Are the problem. They just are. When you have your top three guys have, what is it? I have the number right here. 2 for 21 with 11 strikeouts in 2 games. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke that those guys are 2 for 21. Harper had multiple opportunities to get a big hit tonight and did not. He's swinging, missing, launch angle. He's trying to just do too much, way too much. It feels like these guys are just pressing. They're swinging for the fences, trying to be the hero, and nothing's coming of it. Get guys on base and drive them in. This is postseason baseball. You're not going to win that way. You're not going to win. No clutch gene, just none. Castellanos might only be the only one with a pulse on this team. It's sickening. Get to a couple more comments. Leave them down there before I get out of here. How do we come back, or is it Jover? It's over. They're not coming back against this team. No way. The Dodgers are they just look overmatched. I mean, listen, as much as we're going to complain about the Phillies and their problems, the Dodgers are still a really good baseball team. The Dodgers have overmatched the Phillies. Blake Snell, overmatching stuff tonight. Looked fantastic. They come up with timely hits. The Phillies do not come up with timely hits. It's just how it's been going, man. And it's funny because the Phillies have had success against the Dodgers in the regular season. Postseason's a whole different animal. And they've had success against the Dodgers in the past in the postseason. But this is why they're the defending World Series champs. They're just good everywhere. And you cannot make mistakes. The little mistakes will cost you in the end. And that's what's happening with the Phillies. Little mistakes like that. And I'll even go back to when Kerkering came in. I do want to point this out. When Kerkering came in and he gives up that swinging little dribbler to Trey Turner, Trey goes to first. They getting out there. Instead, he goes straight home. Bad throw to the right side of JT. Has to make a longer tag. He ends up being safe. So they get the first run. They would have at least trade a run for an out there. But they didn't even get the out at home. So that's a major issue. And then things start spiraling after that. Those little mistakes cost you in the end. That one run cost you. You lost 4-3. That one simple mistake by Trey Turner cost them. That was a big play in the game, and he screwed it up. He made a bad throw, first of all, to JT, threw it to the wrong side. I know it's a quick play and everything, but bad throw to the right side, or he didn't go to first base and at least trade an out for a run. And it didn't happen. The Phillies were not capitalizing on those type of opportunities. And when the Phillies made those mistakes, the Dodgers capitalized. Those little tiny mistakes, the Dodgers found a way to capitalize on them. And that's why they won. The Phillies are not hitting, and they don't capitalize on minor mistakes, like leaving a guy in too long if you're Dave Roberts, right? For the Dodgers. Instead, the Phillies bunt and getting out at third. Those little mistakes come back to bite you in the ass, and it happened to the Phillies again this year. It sucks. It absolutely sucks if you're a Phillies fan. Because both games were winnable. And they made some stupid mistakes, little mistakes that'll cost you. And they didn't hit. JT seems like the only guy that wants to hit in this series for the most part. Nobody else. You're not getting anything for anybody else. Forget the top of the lineup. Anybody else going to get a hit for you? So that's that. Phillies lose once again to the Los Angeles Dodgers, down 2-0 in the series. They lose 4-3 tonight. And it's heartbreaking. It's just totally heartbreaking if you're a Phillies fan, and frustrating. I think frustrating might be the best word for it. Just because, I mean, what else can you say at that point? What else can you say? And by the way, what the hell are they playing the Duran thing for in the ninth again? 2 games? You're down. You're losing in both of them. You're going to play Duran again? I mean, come on. Apparently there was reports. I saw like Tim Kelly put it out, multiple other reporters saying that there were boos when Duran's entrance came on. They can't play that when they're down in a playoff game 4-1. That can't happen. It can't happen. It's brutal. You can't have that. And Duran, he gets out of it tonight. Fine. But what the heck? Why are you playing the Duran thing? Don't do that. When you're down, you're losing. It loses all of its juice. It loses all of its aura. Don't play that. Don't do that. That makes me even more angry. I'm so glad I wasn't there tonight. Oh, I'd be furious. I'd be furious. I'd be furious if I was in the stands tonight watching that display. Just an absolute disgrace. We'll get time in here. Last comment. Thank you for the commentary. I appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning in. Tune in more. Every Monday and Wednesday, I usually go at 9 o'clock on BFA as well as on Earnshaw Radio. Was there anything else you want to see out of these final games from the team? Yeah, can I see a couple of base hits? I mean, just see a couple of base hits from the top guys. Like, oh my God, give me something. Show some life. At least Castellanos showed a little life tonight. I mean, I don't even know how he hit that. The guy's like swinging out of his shoes, chasing, lunging, and somehow he pulled it. He pulled it. He literally, I don't know how he hit that. I was stunned, absolutely stunned, because it was just the perfect Castellanos hit for everything that's going on. It was just typical Castellanos. Hey, give him credit though, man. Go out and get it. Get a base hit. Works 1 out of every 45 times he tries to do it, but he got the one tonight, and you got to give him credit. Just a little bit of fight, man. At least they showed a little bit tonight with Casty and all, but some stupidity by the manager and just bad at bats by your top guys. Better at bats, honestly. Give yourself a shot, at least. I don't know what you're going to get out of Aaron Nola against the Dodgers on the road. You might see Walker Buehler pretty early in that ball game, or probably Ranger Suarez. You might piggyback Nola with Ranger. I don't know what they're thinking now. You might as well start Ranger at this point, but I guess you're thinking if you win game 3, then you could start Ranger game 4. Just some better at bats, please. A little bit of fight. It's maybe not swinging at the first pitch or over swinging. I mean, jeez, just sickening. At least the Phillies aren't getting blown out like the Yankees, like that disgrace in New York. Did anyone watch that over the weekend? Them get blown out by Toronto. At least they're not that. At least they'll go down with a little bit of fight, a little bit tonight. I'll take it. All right. That's going to wrap it up for me. My voice is totally shot, kind of like the Philly season. I will talk to everyone. I'll try, probably not Wednesday. I might have to move it to Thursday this week. I will be at the gubernatorial debate in New Jersey. So stay tuned for some updates on my socials with that. But man, thanks everyone for tuning in, chiming in. A lot of comments tonight, a lot of viewers. Really appreciate everyone chiming in. We got one more coming in. Yamamoto's next. Yeah, not good. I don't know if we're going to see great at bats. Yeah, Yamamoto versus Nola. Great. Just awesome. Yeah, they're getting swept. All right. I'm Nick Earnshaw, Earnshaw Radio. Like, subscribe, follow on all the socials, Earnshaw Radio. Check out Nick's Nuggets on 97.3 ESPN. Also, the Shift Baseball Show with Francisco Rojas. We're going to do our episode probably later in the week. So check out for that as well. But I will talk to everyone soon. Appreciate everyone tuning in and hope you have and try. Get some sleep. Just don't even worry about this team right now. It's all right. Got the Sixers next. That's what you got. All right. Sixers and drama-filled Philadelphia Eagles season. And you got some hockey too. You got the Flyers. All right. All right, guys. Peace out.